almost did not happen. And we have president of Cage Titans, Mike Pulver, with us to give us a little insight as to why this fight almost didn't happen and what ultimately turned the tables to make it happen. Navis and Ciampa.
Well, unfortunately, we had a small situation with Navis's blood. His hepatitis B and C came in time. His HIV was a little delayed. It wasn't in before weigh-ins yesterday. Originally, the commission extended the deadline to the end of the day. The blood work came in first thing this morning. So as of today, this fight was very much up in the air. Both opponents showed up to the fight today, and we're told it was off because it wasn't here by the end of the business on Friday. Luckily, the Massachusetts State Athletic Commission made the right call. The blood was in. It wasn't a scenario where somebody was trying to fight without blood work. The blood was in. It just clerically missed the deadline of last night, but it came in this morning first thing. The powers that be talked, and they made the right call. So we had to go back to the fighters and tell them, I know you guys were all upset. The fight was off, but it's back on. And this is going to be a great fight. A lot of people were talking about this fight. So this would have been a big hit if we couldn't have this fight going on. So Marty Navis, John Ciampa, let's check it out.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pulver. John Ciampa getting patted down by Billy Connors, fighting out of Connors MMA. We haven't seen him here in a while since he suffered a loss to Tommy Lee Davis Jr. But what we know about John Ciampa is he's about as durable as they can be bred. He takes shots, he's always fighting, he's always game, and he's always looking to land big shots.
Yeah, and John Ciampa, like we said yesterday at weigh-ins, man, this guy, he looks like he's in better shape than we've ever seen him. You know, he's got a new haircut, looks like a new man. I think we're going to see a new John Ciampa tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he looks great at 170. He looks more lean. He looks like he's more athletic. It doesn't have any extra fat on him, really. He's looking like he's really revolved his training camp, his nutrition, and I'm excited to see what he's going to bring. Always a fun fighter to watch.
Yeah, Connors MMA, a very good school.
And talk about an emotional roller coaster. He showed up to this venue here today thinking that he wasn't even going to fight. I mean, his opponent, Marty Navis, who's about to walk out now, was furious when I walked in. I was intimidated as I've ever been in my life because he was ready to throw tables, throw chairs, because he wasn't going to be allowed to fight on a technicality. But when he found out that the fight was back on, I've never seen somebody so jubilant and excited to step into that cage. So Marty Navis emerges here as jubilant as can be. John Ciampa seems to be excited to get this fight going as well. He's got a great camp behind him as well. I mean, the Connors MMA is one of the most underrated camps in New England, and Lozon camp always brings it. Joe Lozon in the corner of Marty Navis, actually fighting for the UFC next week, November 11th against Clay Guida, and he's here cornering his young fighter tonight.
Yeah, Joe Lozon, man, he's one of the best coaches around. I mean, he's fighting UFC next week, and he's here, you know, coaching his guy. This guy's so dedicated to fighting.
Having a name like Joe Lozon in your corner is a huge boost of confidence. You and I have both experienced it as we had the great George Rivera in our corner for every single one of my fights and for most of your fights.
Yeah, you know, that's huge. Having a UFC veteran like Joe Lozon or like we had George, you know, it's a huge confidence booster. You know, Marty Navis, every time we see him, man, this kid brings it. He's coming off of that tough loss with Trevor Goody. Trevor Goody, as we know, the #1 contender in the welterweight division right now. Marty Navis looking to bounce back.
Marty Navis was upset with that decision, excuse me. He was upset with that decision, and he does not want a decision anymore. He wants to fight to finish. We know he's got heavy, heavy hands, and he's always pressing forward, and he's as granite as they come. This is such a huge, durable fight. I can't wait for Rich Mancini to make this one official.
Moving right along to our 5th bout of the evening. Is everybody having a good time? This is a 170-pound bout. Fighting out of the red corner from Connors MMA. Give it up for John Ciampa. And his opponent out of the blue corner, fighting out of Luzon MMA with a record of 2 wins and 2 defeats. He is also 170 pounds. Let's hear it for Marty Navis.
All right, the fighters have been announced. We got referee Tom Sconza in the middle, the third man in the cage. They hug it out because there was a lot of drama behind this fight going up. John Ciampa is in the tight black Under Armour shorts, where Marty Navis is in the loose black Reebok shorts. They touch gloves. A lot of class and respect between these guys. They both shared a moment when the fight was off and then shared a moment when it was on again. Big emotional roller coaster, and they're already feeling it out and throwing heavy leather.
Yeah, Marty Navis, he's one of those guys that he looks so intimidating, but he's actually one of the nicest guys you'll meet.
Ciampa trying to time Marty Navis' head movements with some feints. He shoots in a good single attempt, and he lands it. There's a takedown for Ciampa.
Beautiful. Ciampa right away, very aggressive with his grappling.
Marty Navis posting up on that left hand, trying to get back to his feet. Good job. But Ciampa, relentless with that single. Navis finds an underhook, is trying to separate and get back to the center of the cage. Marty looking for a head, which turns into a takedown for Ciampa. Now we know we got to watch the next here because we've seen it so far when Don Rubio choked out Billy Goff earlier this evening with the power guillotine.
Wow, Ciampa jumping on Marty Navis's back there.
He's got one hook in, but he's going to have a
impressive.
tough time getting that second hook in with Marty Navis's back against the cage. He's got to recognize that and try and step out and try and control the position here, or else Marty Navis has a good shot of exploding out of this.
Yeah, Marty Navis doing a good job getting right to his feet, using that cage to his advantage.
He's got one explosive turn to his left, and he might be out of this position. But Ciampa's relentless with that hook, and he's using it very, very intelligently to keep Navis under control and keep him in this clinch position.
Yeah, Navis right now is just trying to inch his way.
Now that hook is out, and Navis needed to capitalize and explode there. Hook's out again.
He's inching his hips away, and there he is. He's out. Big punches here by Navis.
Good timing on a shot, but Navis with the heavy hips stuffs it. Ciampa recovers up against the cage, and he's very clear, and that's a takedown for me. Another takedown for Ciampa. So when it comes to the clinch, it's so difficult to gauge if you're actually controlling that clinch and whether or not you should let it go and fire off some shots on the exit. And that's what Navis did there, where he recognized the clinch was going to break and he fired off shots. Whereas I felt like Ciampa held on to a certain position in that clinch a little too long, where he could have been the aggressor, break off and land shots of his own.
Yeah,
but it worked out because Ciampa has the takedown right now.
Yeah, and Ciampa did a great job there. When they broke off, he dropped back and shot the double. Beautiful timing there by Ciampa. And Navis is looking for a standing choke here. And
there's
that's
a tap. I didn't see the tap that time.
I'm not sure if I saw the tap. I may have seen Ciampa's arm move. I wasn't sure if he was tapping. Nevertheless, Marty Navis looking very impressive.
That's back-to-back standing guillotines. When's the last time you saw that? I personally didn't see a tap.
Yeah, it's tough to see from our angle. It looked like Ciampa was trying to position his hand under Marty's leg and maybe try to shoot in. But it may have looked like a tap to the referee, and the fight was called off.
And that's about all that matters. Here's the thing. It's an amateur fight. The referee's looking out for fighter safety. We've already had one fighter go unconscious to a guillotine choke here tonight, so maybe the referee was leaning on the safe side of protecting the fighter, which is not a shameful thing.
Right.
And the results are in. Your winner at 2:44 in the first round by tap out from Lausanne MMA, Marty Navis.
Looks like John Ciampa's trying to make his case to Mike Polbert. Whether or not there was, in fact, a tap. Nonetheless, Tom Sconza calls a stop to this contest in the first round. And it goes down as a submission victory for Marty Navis.
All right. Marty Navis, man, it's been a whirlwind 2 days. Your fight was off. You had to rush 5 hours to get blood work. You showed up to the venue, your fight was off, it's off, it's on, it's off, it's on. You made it, man. And how's it feel to get that win?
Who said I don't know jiu-jitsu? Who said I don't know jiu-jitsu, huh? Let's go. I can strike too, but I can submit someone too.
I know, Marty, man, you're known as a devastating striker in this 170-pound division. You showed a new facet of the game. I know you got your eyes on the next fight. What do you got to say, man?
Trevor, yeah, probably gonna fight for that vacated belt. So, you know, I like you, but we're gonna have to fight for it.
Hey, he's alluding to Trevor Goody, who's fighting next. He wants a piece of that man. We'll see what happens this next time in the cage. Make some noise, Marty Navis.
Well, we could see a rematch in the future.
John Ciampa still clearly upset with the result of that fight. But again, we've seen someone pass out due to being caught in a guillotine already tonight. The referees always err on the side of caution. It's a safety precaution and only a safety precaution. So when you see some movement in the hand and it might have gone limp, he might not have seen the tap, but he might have seen the arm go limp and call it that. But the referee has to be careful
Okay, folks,
and not let a
stick
fighter
around.
go out for
We
too
still
long.
got one more fight until intermission. We'll take a little break and we'll get to the pros. We got some action-packed stuff going on tonight. I hope everybody's having a good time. Can we hear you?
Our feature preliminary bout is about to make the entrance to the cage. Trevor Goody and Austin Shala. This is another